Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to be going over how to resize an image and edit the mask of an image. So I have two images here, and one of them you'll see it has this yellow dotted outline around it and a lock, and then this one just has a blue outline. So this yellow dotted outline means that this image is partially locked. I can't change the size of this image or I can't change the size of the mask, I should say, or the position, but I can change the interior size of the photo and change the position of the interior photo. So I just wanted to show you this because a lot of the brand templates have this yellow lock around some images. So you can drop a photo in there, but you can't just change the size of that crop mask. So what is a mask? A mask is basically a shape that masks out part of the image you don't want to see. So this yellow rectangle here is the mask, and it's masking out the rest of the image. So you're only seeing what's inside of this yellow rectangle. And the same goes for this image down here. This blue shape is the mask, and it's masking out the rest of the image that you don't want to see. So this image isn't actually cropped, it is just masked. They do call it a crop though, because I think that's the most common term and people understand what that means. But your image, you're not actually cropping images in Lucipress, you're just masking them. So with this locked or semi-locked image here, um, let's say I drop this image in here and all I'm seeing is grass, and that's not what I want to see. I want to move my image around and shift it in there so that it looks the best it can look. I can do two things. I can right click and choose crop image, or I can click on the image and go over here to the image panel and click crop and mask. So I'm just going to click that, and now I'm going into the crop and mask view, and I can move my image around. I can center it in that crop and that mask right there, and so that it looks better. So I'm not only seeing grass, I'm seeing the house instead. And you see these little X's here. That is outlining the mask. So because that is partially locked, I can't change the size of the mask. I can only change the image on the inside. So I can move that around or resize it, and that is all I can do with a partially locked image. I do want to point out, if I click on the image and go over here to edit masking, I see that the width and the height has this little blue lock in between there. And that means that when it's blue, and when I scale my image, it's going to be scaling proportionally. It's going to scale the height and the width at the same time. If I click on the lock and make it black, and I go to scale my image, it will scale either the height or the width. It does not scale them both at the same time. So make sure that you don't do that, because that will skew the image and your image will look bad. So make sure that when you're in this crop and mask editing view that your lock is blue and you're scaling proportionally. To edit or to exit this view, you can either hit escape or enter. And now I have a nicely centered image. So for this image down here, it's not locked. I'm just going to call this a free image. I can see that it's not filling my mask completely. So again, this blue line is my mask, and it's masking off the tops and the sides of this image. And the bottom does not meet the bottom of this mask. An easy way to change this without going into that crop image or crop mask view is I click on the image and go over to the image panel. And under image, if that is collapsed, you want to expand it. And then this drop down here, you have all these options. Scale to fit and scale to fill are going to be your good friends. So scale to fit will fit the entire image inside of that mask. So regardless of, it's just going to take the width or the height and make it the same width or height as this mask, whichever one is greater. So this one, the width is greater than the height, so the width is going to be full width from left to right, and then you're going to have some extra room on the top and bottom inside of that mask. If I want the image to completely fill my mask, I would choose scale to fill. So now I have more of that square shape, and that image fills the entire mask. If I want to center my house in that mask, I can right click, crop image, and then just move the image over. Now, if I have an image that is just the same height as my mask here. So these black lines are my mask. So if my image is the exact height and I'm moving it, sometimes you're not going to be exact and you're going to shift the image a little bit and there's going to be a gap. So the image isn't going to completely fill that mask. So in order to avoid this, I will make my image just a little bit bigger than my mask so I can see a little bit of image on the top, the sides, and the bottom of my mask. So I know that that image will completely fill that mask. And that matters if you have multiple images that are supposed to be the same shape and you have to alter the size of the image or shift them around inside of that mask. You want to make sure that they completely fill the mask so that they actually are the same shape. I can show you that in a second. So to edit your mask, you can see that I don't have those little X's here because this is not locked. So this is your mask here and I can change the size and the shape of this mask. So I'm just going to go like that. So change the size a little bit. And I'm going to also scale this down so that my image does not completely fill my mask. And I'm going to hit enter. And there we go. So I've changed that. And so I talked about that little blue lock before. So if I have this image clicked and I go to layout, I see here that the width and the height, that blue lock is present there as well. So the difference is if I'm not inside of that crop image or crop mask view, the blue lock, it's scaling the mask. It's scaling the mask plus the image, not just the image itself. So if I uncheck that blue lock and make it black and scale, I can scale the height and the width without skewing that image. And sometimes that's a really good feature to have. So you don't have to be scared of unchecking that blue lock if you're outside of that edit mask view. So I'm going to show you real quick why you want to make sure your pictures fill the mask entirely. Because if you have 3 images like this and they don't all completely fill that mask, you're going to be able to tell. Even though these masks are all the same size, the image on the inside is not all the same size. So you just want to make sure that that image goes a little bit above, below, and on either side of that mask. I hope that makes sense. It will help you make your whatever you're working on look that much better. And hit enter to exit that view. And that is it. That is how you scale an image or edit the image inside of a crop or mask. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.